Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Heart-racing video shows the moment Israeli forces rescued 3 hostages trapped in Gaza before battling their Hamas captors. Israeli troops stormed an apartment, pouring in through a living room and into a darkened bedroom where they found the 3 men cowering in the dark. The daring mission carried out on Saturday saw Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, rescue Almog Meir Jan, 21, Andrei Kozlov, 27, and Shlomi Ziv, 40. Noah Argamani, the 25-year-old woman whose story made headlines in October after she was snatched by Hamas, was also saved on Saturday from a nearby site. A hail of gunfire can be heard in the video as IDF troops smash open the apartment door, along with what appears to be children shouting and screaming in the background. Shlomi Ziv, lying on a bed, holds his hands above his head in the footage as troops storm into the dark bedroom. As the sounds of fighting rage on outside, the hostages huddle together and shield themselves. Almog Meir Jan jumps to the bed where Shlomi is sitting, barefoot, as they grip onto each other. The footage then pans to the troops filing outside, as more gunfire is exchanged, presumably as the Israeli troops fight off Hamas operatives nearby. The freed hostages can be seen running barefoot as they're led away from captivity. Israel conducted the raids in the Nuseirat area of the Gaza Strip on Saturday. Officers from the elite police counterterrorism unit Yamam along with Shin Bet agents raided 2 buildings simultaneously. All 4 of the hostages were taken by Hamas on October 7 last year, when the terror group launched a brutal attack on the Nova Music Festival in Israel. One of Noah's relatives told press the troops had banged on the door of where she was being held in Gaza and yelled that they had come to rescue her. Asaf Shabi said, "She told me a little. It was 10 a.m. and they banged on the door and shouted, 'It's the IDF and we've come to rescue you.'" IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari claimed that Israel's forces came under heavy attack during the mission. He said the commandos working to save the hostages responded by firing from the air and from the street. Hagari said, "We know about under 100 Palestinian casualties. I don't know how many of them are terrorists." Israeli forces also said a special forces commander was killed during the operation. The hostages were bundled into choppers after the impressive raid and rushed to hospital in Israel to be checked over. The IDF has said that the 4 hostages were being held by terrorists in the homes of Gaza families in 2 Hamas-controlled buildings. Hamas has previously been accused of using civilians as human shields. The terrorist group's media office said 210 Palestinians were killed during the operation, but this figure was disputed by medics on the ground who gave estimates of around 70. Hamas has not said how many of those were combatants. Gazan paramedics and residents said the assault killed scores of people and left mangled bodies of men, women and children strewn around a marketplace and a mosque. The Hamas attack on Israel on October 7 killed around 1,200 people, sparking 8 months of brutal war. Gunmen took around 250 hostages back to Gaza on October 7, more than 100 of whom were released in exchange for about 240 Palestinians held in Israeli jails during a week-long truce in November. Noah's plight became one of the most harrowing and recognizable images as the world came to terms with the atrocity on October 7. She was seen being loaded onto a motorbike as she pleaded with them, "Don't kill me." She and the other 3 hostages had spent 245 days in captivity since being kidnapped.